Welcome to Nerds Geeks in the Kitchen Sink. It's the podcast that's like hanging out at the video store. I'm one of your hosts, DK. That's your
Oh,
other host, Chris.
yeah.
I just
See
kept
here, I
going.
don't even interrupt you, and I totally missed
Well,
it.
improve if you feel like it.
Right.
Uh, you know, uh, I can forgive you for being a little out of it since you've been having a hell of a time driving all over this entire country.
I've had about 4 hours of sleep in about 48 hours, so
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're a real trooper for being here. Thank you.
I thank you very much. I finally got my, getting home a few hours ago and got my damn computer worked out. So yes, it was my technical
Let's
difficulties
say that this is not the first time we've tried to record this episode.
in the last 3 days.
And
Yes.
so, look, we're getting there. We're trying our
Right.
best.
Right.
Chris, how's it all going?
It's going good. I got the emotions of high school graduation over with.
Yep.
If people don't know this already, DK is an awesome dude. I'll leave it at that.
Come on
But
now.
it's an
Come on.
awesome dude. But no, my daughter went on her first kind of on her own sort of trip.
That's huge.
Since graduating, I didn't even drive.
That's
I just sat in the
huge.
car. I know. I sat in the back seat and had my headphones on, listening to 5 Day Rentals and
Oh
some other
man,
podcast.
they're the best. I just love 5 Day Rentals.
But my daughter and her best friend went to go see Greta Van Fleet again, their last U.S. stop before they go to Europe,
GVF.
in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then while they went to the concert, I read and listened to podcasts in the hotel room. So
Nice. That's how you do it. That's a hell of a vacation for me.
I know,
Hanging
right?
out in a hotel room and just like reading and playing games and stuff, like
Yeah.
listening to music. As a kid, that was always my favorite part. And I'm
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not at all exaggerating. We went to
So
the Grand Canyon,
oh
and
nice.
all I wanted to do was play my Game Boy Advance because I had just gotten Castlevania Symphony of
Oh
the, or
yeah.
no, it was Circle of the Moon, and I was sitting there in my underwear listening to System of a Down, and playing Castlevania, and the housekeeping came in,
Nice.
and I didn't hear them, and I was terrified when this
So you look like
woman
Groot.
I didn't recognize, and I'm there in my tidy whities. This was a long time ago. This is over 20 years ago. But
So
anyway,
Hollywood Writers, this needs to be put in a movie somewhere.
my parents were like, "We're going to see the can." I saw the Grand Canyon. Our hotel was very close. I was like, "Yeah, it's a big hole in the ground. Whatever. Great. When are
Yeah.
they going to fill it in?"
Right.
I'm playing Castlevania. Come on. So that was it for me.
Fun.
Well, I'm glad you had at least sounds like an okay time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. I've
Right.
just been doing work stuff. I
Yeah.
was
It's
recently a guest on the With Corley and Rust podcast
nice.
yet again for a Patreon episode. If you're a patron on there, you'll be hearing me soon. It was a great time. I hung out with Umar and Brantley and Corley
Awesome.
and Rust. It was great. It was really good. I love that show. It's my favorite. Um, Last night, Chris,
Yes.
I watched a movie that I should have seen. I feel robbed in some ways
Okay.
because I feel like I wish I would have seen this movie many years ago. I'm upset that it's new to me now, but I'm also so excited that I get to kind of experience it anew, for the
Right.
first time. Um, and this is a movie called, well, it's from 1957.
Okay.
It's in black and white, uh,
Right.
starring Dana Andrews, Cummins, and Neil McGinnis. Neil,
Okay.
oh Neil,
Neil.
Neil, Neil McGinnis. Do you know what movie that is?
I do not. Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
It's a black and white movie, and it's
Right.
called. Well, it has multiple names, but it's Curse of the Demon. Have you heard of it?
What other names has it been under? Because I might have.
Well, Night of the Demon, not to be confused with Night of the Demons,
Right.
which is a great movie.
Right.
Um, it's about
But singular Night of the Demon, I've
Night of the
heard.
Demon,
Okay.
but I think really it's called Curse of the Demon, but it
Okay.
has multiple names.
Right.
Anyway, it's about a skeptical guy who he's like a scientist,
Mhm.
and he gets wrapped up in this guy who's a cult leader, and he's like, "Look, I'll show you, it's real." But it kind of all plays out. Chris, I really think Sam Raimi must have watched this movie before he made Drag Me to Hell.
Really?
Which have you seen
So
Drive
it's
Me to
got,
Hell?
oh yeah,
I
absolutely,
love that
several
movie.
times.
It's so much fun. Um, I think maybe Raimi had looked at Curse of the Demon before Drag Me to Hell.
Well,
It
I
has
mean,
so many similarities, and it's a beautiful movie, beautiful black and white, lots of shadow play, and just
right,
it's amazing. I like the acting. Um, the guy's kind of like a grumpy skeptic. He's like kind of like a Dr. House type dude,
right,
like he just assumes it's all fake all the time and everyone's
yep,
lying and whatever. Um, it's got really interesting and effective visual effects. There's this demon. I mean, straight up, there's a demon in the first 10 minutes of the movie, right?
okay,
You kind of see it's interesting because you kind of see like the end of one story happening that sort of sets off the main story.
right,
Um, it's an interesting way to tell it, but I've I'm in love. I watched it last night. I can't. I'm going to order the Blu-ray this week. I
what
cannot
was
wait
it
to it.
on?
It was just it popped up on YouTube,
Okay,
and I was
so
like,
it's one of those just
okay,
free YouTube movies.
it was, yeah. So I don't
Okay,
know if that's like officially free or what, but I did find that there is a Blu-ray, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get that and learn everything there is to learn about it.
yeah, I'll
So,
definitely have to watch that one.
yep, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Um, just some amazing effects and some really good acting and
Yeah,
fun. Just it's great. It's not. It kind of feels like it could be a Hammer movie, but it's not. I don't believe it is a Hammer movie, but it kind of feels like that.
okay,
But it's got more locations and effects and action.
right,
It's cool. I'd say it's a hidden gem. Although I'm
okay,
sure there's plenty of people out there like, yeah, duh, I know that one.
no,
But
right.
I just, for whatever reason, had not seen it before. So I'm raving about it because I loved it.
Well, I mean, Drag Me to Hell is one of your favorite movies
I
anyway. So,
absolutely
I
love it.
mean, if it's got, it feels like a lot of similarities pulled from that, then absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Sorry, my wife just walked in the room and she's being rude and lewd. Uh, so yes, Curse of the Demon, Night of the Demon, wherever you can find it. Big recommendation for me. Absolutely. There's some news we should talk about.
Yeah.
This is maybe the most, I don't know. I don't know what. James Wan producing horror reboot of The Munsters. Come on. Why? We just had this.
I mean, was the Rob Zombie one not bad enough? Can we?
Look,
Are we gonna get some doves flying off of the Monster Mobile, or I mean,
I think you're thinking of uh
yes, I
John
know.
Woo. Imagine, wait. John Woo's The Munsters? That I want to see.
Yeah,
Herman with two like Glocks spinning in
right,
slow motion,
right.
birds flying out from behind him.
I told
Interesting.
you, sleep deprivation.
I think it's going to be one of those episodes. Uh, so I don't really know many details. I think this has sort of just been announced. I
Yes.
don't know who's actually directing it. I don't think The Munsters needs to be scary. It's
No.
never been about that.
No.
It's much like Adam's Family. Like it lives in that sort of horror-y world, but like it's a the whole thing is like they're the most normal family,
It's kid
and they're
horror. I
yeah,
mean, it's like the golden books of horror.
yeah. And I mean, I just think of like, there was the Tim Burton Dark Shadows. I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of these things that are kind of like that just like, I don't know. Maybe they're good for kids, but I don't know what is this?
Right.
So I guess we'll
Yeah,
see.
I don't think we need to turn everything dark and gritty. I
I mean,
mean,
that's my go-to, it usually is for me,
but
but
I mean,
I don't,
things
even
that
I am
weren't
not really sure about this.
things that weren't to begin with. Why? You know,
Mhm. I don't know. I can't really understand it, but it is
it's
what it is.
like somebody coming along and turning Charlotte's Web into a horror movie. You know,
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of spider horror this year, so maybe,
well,
you know.
Pig Slaughterhouse.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't know. I like
And
James Wan though, I will say.
right,
I know I have heard people say, "Oh, he's uninspired and it's all digital and boring and blah blah blah," but I generally like James Wan for the most part. So I don't know. Maybe I have bad taste. That there's one more thing here.
Okay.
At least in the world of horror.
Right.
Uh, they're doing a new reprinting of the Night Stalker, the Kolchak, the Night Stalker, the
Oh,
original
really?
book,
Yeah.
the book that the show is based on. I don't know if you've ever
Right.
seen it, but
Yes.
I love it, and I'm really excited to see that there's a new, because I didn't even honestly I didn't know there was a book.
Yeah. I
So
did. Yeah.
I'm I'm getting through this Phantasm book that I talked about before, which by the way I haven't finished it, but it's,
2 thumbs.
if you're a Phantasm guy, and honestly, there's some really cool Phantasm lore that I can't wait to go deep on
Okay.
eventually with someone at some
Yeah.
point in my life. But it's very cool. You get to hear. Oh, I better not even say that. It's a spoiler, but you hear the origin of something very iconic from
Ah.
Phantasm. It's really cool. But
Well, maybe this is a tease for one of our first Halloween shows in a few months.
maybe it is. I don't know,
We need
but
to do a deep dive on.
yeah. Maybe so. But anyway, this is cool. I'm excited about that. I like Kolchak a lot. And
Well,
boy,
and that. You know what? That's one thing. As good as the old show was, and the book is really good. Maybe that's something they need to kind of update a little bit.
I could go for a remake, sure.
So,
Absolutely, yeah. Um,
who would you get to play Kolchak?
somebody with a little bit of experience, somebody who you believe their confidence and their, he doesn't believe any of this nonsense, but he's quirky. He's got to be quirky. That's the whole thing about Kolchak, I think, is that right. He's like kind of a
I
quirky
mean,
dude, wears a
would
weird hat.
somebody like John Hamm work in that spot?
That's an interesting choice. I
Because
definitely think that.
he did a Fletch remake, which was more like the books, and
Yeah,
I really liked that.
that's a really cool choice.
I mean,
Well, now I'm just thinking about Ham. He's the right age. I could buy it.
that's what I figured. That late 40s, early 50s, kind of, you
Chris,
know.
I don't know who would be better. That's really good. I'll think of it
Why do
once
I
we're
not
off
have a
pod.
job in casting?
But
That's
yeah,
all I'm
that's
saying.
like your first instinct is like really good. Just imagine him in the outfit. He could wear it. My only other thought would be, and this might be taking it a little too seriously, but
You say Pedro Pascal will
no,
be
no, no, no,
punching
no,
through
no,
this
no, no,
monitor.
no, 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 no. Um, Fassbender, but that might be taking it a little too seriously.
I
I
think
don't know
that
if he's got the,
you would miss his quirkiness.
but I
I
think he
think
would
with
look right in the
Fassbender.
outfit. He would
Yeah,
definitely look right in the outfit.
I can see him doing it. Remember the movie Snowman?
Yes, Mr. Police.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
So
But I don't think that movie is his fault.
no, no.
So yeah, let's see your mock-ups. Send in your fan art of
Yeah.
those as our casting. No, I think I would agree. Although, by the way, the new version of the book has a forward by David Desmalchian.
Ah, nice.
Maybe he plays him.
That's a possibility, especially after his last. I
He just doesn't have. I like him a lot, but I just don't. I haven't seen him be. I don't know.
right,
There's
right.
something there that I feel like a spark is missing. I don't know, but maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Um,
I mean, he might be able to do it. I mean, we've seen him,
has
be
he been given the
quirky.
chance to play
That
characters
and
like
that's
that?
if you would combine some of his characters, maybe, you know what I mean? Like
I
the
just feel like he's
personality of
always
some of his
he's always a
characters, but
dark character.
yeah.
Not necessarily only villains, but he's always a dark character.
Well, I mean, he was very quirky in Polka Dot Man. In
Yeah, but again, he's a dark,
yeah, oh
death
yeah, that was a
obsessed man.
very yeah.
He's I'm talking about somebody who can be just a little
Speaking of
weird.
that, have you seen his podcast?
I haven't listened to it or watched it, but I know it exists.
He does it in coffins.
Yeah, I look forward to checking it out,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen it yet.
So I mean, that's just who
Is it
he
out? I
is.
didn't even realize he was out.
Yeah, it's out.
Okay, I had just seen like an announcement, like, "Hey, this is a thing."
I think he's only got a couple episodes.
Okay,
So,
I mean that's right up my alley, of course.
yeah,
But anyway, Cult Check. If people don't know it, they should check it out. It's a
absolutely.
great time
Go back and watch the Night Stalker show.
for sure.
For its time, it was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that's one show that needs could not I nothing really needs sometimes an update, but could work
I
with
am a
an
fan of
update.
there's that idea that we should be remaking things that didn't do well the first time. I'm on board for that, you know. So, but that's a show that didn't last long, right? Is it just one season?
I think it's just one.
Yeah,
Two at the most if I'm and it wasn't a
right.
full season the second one if it was two.
Yeah. So, anyway, on to the next piece of news that I found to be
Right.
interesting, and this will lead us into X-Men. We can talk
Okay.
the finale of X-Men 97, but
Yep.
they're announcing today Greg Capullo, Capullo,
Yeah.
and Jonathan Hickman are writing a comic book called Wolverine Revenge. I mean, how does that make you feel just hearing that?
Unsure.
Unsure, and that's fair.
Yeah.
The cover, if this is the cover or whatever, the art that was supplied is him in his classic yellow and blue.
Right.
He looks like the goddamn Wolverine. He looks rough.
Okay.
He's fuzzy. He's jacked.
Right.
He looks like you want him to look for the most part.
Right.
I don't know there haven't been many story details,
Right.
but the first thing that I've seen is him riding a Triceratops and fighting a T-Rex. I'm sure there's a reason why. I'm sure there's a good reason why, and I probably won't stay in whatever this is.
I'm sure it's like Savage Land.
I'm
or
sure he's in
something.
Savage Land, exactly right. But the
I just
panels,
since the first House of X,
yeah.
I have not been happy with Hickman at
Well, let me
all.
read this to you because
Okay.
this may change your mind or not.
Okay.
This is from Capullo.
Okay.
To celebrate, he said some other things before this, but Marvel has removed the fences and let us off our leash so that we can bring the most vicious and punishing Wolverine story possible to fans this summer. I hope they're prepared. In 5 issues, Wolverine Revenge promises to pit Wolverine against a cadre of foes who will turn his world upside down. He's been beaten, he's been bloodied, and Logan only has one thought on his mind: revenge. I like that. I mean, when you say it like that, I'm interested. And Hickman has this to say: when we first talked about the project, our number one concern was taking the readers on a high octane, no holds barred Wolverine story that was a proper celebration of both the character and Greg returning to Marvel. The bosses cut us loose, and the result is an absolutely wild book. Elevated violence. There's a red band version that'll actually be bagged for protection of innocent eyes. I don't know if this is just obviously it's like
is he gonna have his dick hanging out? Or,
I hope so.
I mean,
but the little art that I've seen is the art does look great. There's some insane dinosaur violence for whatever reason. I don't even know, but it looks good.
Do they have a first cover or anything yet?
I don't know if that's what this, like, he's in the jaws of a T-Rex is what it looks. I don't know if that's the cover or not,
right?
But that's kind of what it looks like. So, anyway, we'll cover that this week,
I mean,
summer.
it's honestly, they've let Wolverine loose before in a small miniseries, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I've got it in like one of my.
The one where he's really animalistic.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing is almost painted like they did Sandman.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get some crazy gore in that one, right?
You can't get much more brutal than that one.
Yep. What's that called? I've read that. What is it called?
I haven't. I haven't buried in like
Well,
a
it's okay.
million long
Listen,
boxes.
we're bad
But
nerds, okay?
I know, right?
Get over it. We'll find, if we remember, we'll put it in the Discord.
Yeah.
Join the Discord, everyone, please.
Yeah. It's
Unless you want crypto stuff, and then,
yeah.
well,
That's
you can
not my
join, but I will
expertise.
remove you immediately.
Right.
So anyway, I just thought that was an interesting. I'm
Yeah.
not saying, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm like hyped beyond
Right.
belief. I will check it out when it comes out. I'll stay
Right.
on top of this. You know, I like the art. It's classic Wolverine. He looks like he's getting into some shit. So great.
I mean, I can completely get behind it as long as it's well written, and it's got to be better than anything we've gotten in the last 6 or 7 years. I mean, honestly,
We'll see. We'll see. We'll follow it.
for
We'll check it
me,
out.
for me to actually go for the run of it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly, I know it sounds stupid, but between the writers and the artist, I'm almost more excited for the stupid Dazzler 4-part series
That's
coming
not
out.
stupid. That's
No,
awesome.
I'm just saying it's her 4-part run, that they've got going on because the way they described it and the side characters that they have in,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
It's
we'll
cool as
see.
hell.
Domino is her head of security and
Yeah.
Strong Guy is her
Who better?
bodyguard.
Who better
You,
for both
you
of those
know,
jobs?
multiple man is her roadie.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I
He can
know,
do it
right?
all. He
Yeah,
can do it all at
exactly.
once. That's amazing.
So, I mean, that just sounds like a goofy, fun,
Sure.
you know.
Well,
So,
do you want to cover the finale of
well, the only other thing Marvel wise, they've announced that they're getting written right now a Vision Disney Plus series
Sure.
by Terry Matalas that wrote season 3 of Picard, which was
My
like
immediate
the best season of that show
my
by
immediate
far. So,
reaction is a casual interest. Yes.
right,
I'd like to see more, obviously, but I think Vision's a cool character that we could tell some interesting stories, but what it's going to come down to is
I
like
know,
what thing are they using Vision to lead into? Or are they not going to
right,
do that? Could they actually just give us a good show that's a good show?
and that's
Which
what I'm
there
hoping.
are some that are like that, but a lot of them are
Right,
just like, let's get you ready for the next film. But
right.
since
It's all
that's not
homework. It's all
right,
homework.
but since that's not happening so much right now,
Right,
maybe the show will just be a good show to have a good show. Boy,
right.
wouldn't that be great?
That would be nice.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah, and like I said, Terry Matalas, he did an awesome job on Picard season 3, and then they kind of booted him again for the moron that they have in that's been doing Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, we'll see. He's not a guy that's a writer that takes producers meddling too much. Well,
We'll see. Is it for
so
this? Is for next year or is it for 2026?
they didn't say he's writing it like right now.
Okay, so probably
So
26.
it's probably 2026.
Okay.
But I'm almost to the point of like, with the track record of the shows, it's kind of like Agatha.
Look,
Why
say what you
why
want. I'm into it.
why I
Say what you want. I'm
I
into it.
give rat's ass about Agatha, whatever they want to call it now.
That's okay. That's okay.
I give two shits. I could
Okay.
care less.
All right.
I will watch it for the show, but past that, I'll
What if
wait
it's the
till
best one? What if it's the best Marvel show?
there's no fucking way this is the best one.
She-Hulk
No
looking
way.
pretty good right now, huh?
Oh God, no.
I really look. We don't have to reopen all these wounds, but I had a great time with She-Hulk. I want another season. I don't think it's going
Honestly,
to happen.
as rough as it was, Hawkeye is probably the best one. And the first 4 episodes of WandaVision,
Mm-hmm.
I think halfway through it kind of lost its.
You really don't think Loki's the best one?
No,
I think Loki's the best one.
I am not a Loki fan.
I'm sad about it,
I
but that's
like the
okay.
character, but I don't like the series.
Okay. Well, let's talk X-Men 97.
Okay, I'll let you go. Kind of set it up, and we got the final episode that came out. So it's
Yeah.
been 2 weeks, so spoilers are kind of out the
Yeah,
window.
we're going to be spoiling it. Actually, let me clickety clack into your microphone just for a second here while I
Okay.
pull that info up just so I can have a bit of a refresher because it has been already 2 weeks.
Right.
Let's see. So yeah, it's the last few episodes are called Tolerance is Extinction, parts 1, 2, and 3. Do you want me to read through the
Go
plot?
for it. No,
Okay.
go for it. Yeah.
It's only one paragraph.
I was gonna say I knew it wasn't very long.
Oh, sorry. So again, spoilers if you haven't finished it, we're gonna go through it. So
Right.
with Wolverine critically injured, Xavier takes control of Magneto and restores power to Earth, fracturing Magneto's mind. Jean, connecting to the cosmic power of the Phoenix, places the collar on Bastion, restoring the Prime Sentinel's humanity and reverses Sinister's mutant augmentations which freeze Cable. Anything you want to say at this point?
No,
the
not
the
really.
X-Men fight to prevent Bastion from crashing asteroid M into Earth and causing a new extinction event, but it still plummets after the US government launches missiles at the asteroid, hoping to destroy it. With Xavier's help, Magneto regains consciousness and sends the asteroid into space. It explodes. Most of the X-Men are presumed dead. 6 months later, Bishop arrives and tells Forge that the X-Men are trapped in time. Cyclops and Jean are in 3960 AD, a desolate future where they encounter Mother Ascani and young Nathan. And Rogue, Nightcrawler, Beast, and Xavier and Magneto are all in ancient Egypt in 3000 BC. We all know what that's about.
Right.
When they meet Apocalypse, young Apocalypse.
Yeah.
In a mid-credits scene, Apocalypse finds one of Gambit's playing cards in present-day Genosha.
Right.
So, just in general, I was a fan of the entire series as a whole. I look forward to more. I hope they do more, and I can say as good as it is, I wouldn't mind if they could sort of slow the pace down a little, as was our main complaint.
The second series is already pretty much in the can.
Yeah, I know that
So,
they've
I mean-
recorded dialogue and all that.
And they've already they haven't said who's writing it or anything like that. But the third series,
And it won't be the same
they
writers
greenlit
either.
it. No,
Maybe some of them,
obviously.
but it won't be the same. Won't be the same people in charge.
Showrunner, yeah.
Right, showrunner. That's the word I wanted. Thank you.
Yep.
I like Apocalypse. Interesting villain. A bit of a sort of a Thanos situation. It's a classic storyline.
I don't think he's been done right in many aspects.
At all, right?
Yeah.
Has he been done correctly yet? Or at least has he been adapted well? Isn't Oscar Isaac isn't an Oscar Isaac in the movie?
Yeah.
I think the look of him is cool in that movie.
Except he was probably about 1.5 feet, 2 foot too short.
He should have been. Why didn't they just make him big? Like, come on, you had the money.
Mean,
that's a good point. He should have been a lot bigger.
Yeah. Because even in the ending of '97, they made Apocalypse a huge mofo, which
because he is.
Exactly.
Saying. This is one that I consider to be one of the classic X-Men stories. It is one that I hope they can get right. And my feeling is that they probably will get it right, or a version of it, but it will likely be, rushed, which sucks.
You're higher on it than I am. And we've kind of discussed why.
Yeah.
There's way too much in too short a time.
I agree with you.
Was panned out to actually give a good life to the story. I'll say, it had good moments. Like I said, personally, in the second to last episode, or the third to last episode, the Wolverine and Nightcrawler scene.
So good. I think we talked about that already, but fantastic.
Series.
It was great to see them together whipping ass.
Entire series.
I agree. It was great.
And the aspect of the characters, they did well, which I personally, other than Scott actually getting his due, because that's another character in the X-Men that has not been done well.
I think they did him okay.
No, I'm saying in 97, they did him justice. Everything else, not so much.
Yeah.
That James Marsden, he was.
I agree with you. Yeah, he's fine.
For everything else, the one they had for like Age of Apocalypse and all that stuff.
Yep.
The younger
Yeah, I
kid.
don't even know the actor. Who
I
is it?
don't either. He was in that Ready Player One.
I hate that movie, Chris.
I know, I
I
know,
I get mad. That movie
I know,
legitimately upset
I
me.
know, because that is just an awesome book, and yeah, and they,
I haven't read the book, so I couldn't tell you. But
yeah,
I really didn't. I hated the movie.
yeah,
It's a running joke in my house. The scene when he's like the scientist guy, and like the answer to the puzzle was that you have to drive backwards in the race,
yeah.
and the guy's like, everyone's always going forward all the time. Why does everybody go backwards just for once? Come on, dude. I I don't know. I don't know what
I
that's
know.
about. And
Yeah,
then there's also the scene. It's like we hate watched it, so it was horrible.
yeah,
There's also the scene when they're like playing old school video games, and they're like, on the third level of Pac-Man, the ice broke. Like I don't even know what it means, but it apparently it's very important.
I know.
Go on. I'm sorry.
No, no. I mean,
I fucking
that's.
hate Ready Player One.
You're not alone. I'll have to when I just want to get my blood pressure up. That's a movie I'll watch.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
anyway,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I
Go
meant
ahead.
no, 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 no. I mean, Scott Summers was done justice in
I
this.
thought so. Yeah.
You know, I think like I said, there's just certain aspects of it I just did not like. The rushing of it was the biggest one,
That's the toughest pill to
and
swallow. I
and
think about the
and,
whole thing. Yeah.
and honestly, some of the stories that it's like when this first came out, the big thing. Oh well, this is the cartoon. It's for the kids, and then you get into some of them, and they're like, okay, that's not kid appropriate behavior.
Hmm.
So, okay, are you doing it for then the people that were
It's for
kids
the
watching it?
teens.
I
It's
was
for the
like,
teens.
well, it's for the people that were kids. And that, so which is it?
Oh,
Are
Chris,
you
that's
gonna do
me.
a good story?
I was a
No, I
child.
know, but I meant the way they described it and some of the actions they took in the show itself.
That's fair.
It's like make it one or the other,
Hmm. I get
because
it.
you can't try to conflate both of those.
It's fair.
The only animated series that ever did that well was Animaniacs.
I don't know if that's true. The only series that's
Slapstick,
good.
slapstick humor for kids and the adult jokes. That was the perfect
Surely there's
fusion
other
of.
cartoons though. You can't say that
Name one.
Animaniacs is the
Name
only
one.
one.
Name one.
I think Adventure Time.
I thought all those. I if that had adult jokes in it, I never.
Uh, the first episode, the guy does an
I'm gonna
Army
be
of Darkness
honest. I
reference.
like hardly ever watch it.
I think
So
it's
I'm
one
not
that
gonna.
maybe adults can, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It
I'm sure
doesn't
there's a
matter.
bunch of these, but I
But I
get your
bet.
point. I
Yeah.
understand your point. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, pick a lane. You're gonna do a series like this. Pick a lane.
All right. I pick Lois Lane. Now what?
Well, you get to talk to Superman.
Hey, would it be weird
Yeah.
to say that my favorite Lois Lane is Amy Adams?
No, honestly.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
if you would have said Kate Bosworth, then we would have thrown
No.
hands. Then we
Does
would have thrown
anyone think
hands.
that?
There's got to be some simp that does.
I don't know. I
But
don't know
if you
about
would have
that.
said Kate Bosworth, we would have thrown hands.
No, no one would say that.
But anyway, no, and like I said, just and then some of the character portrayals, and then it's like they OP'd Morph.
Oh, let me ask you this.
Okay.
What did you think of the cameos? Because I like the cameos.
I like the cameos
Not
if
the
they
morph
were
ones. The morph
okay.
ones were
Okay.
fine. They're fine, but the actual cameos.
The only one I honestly didn't like is, and I know this sounds stupid and I'm nitpicking, Psylocke being with Alpha Flight.
It was
That
cool
should
to
have
see
not.
that.
It was cool to see that, but that should have never been.
You don't like that because of where we are in
No.
the story.
Yes.
I
And
get
and
that.
the fact that she has never really been with Alpha Flight.
Okay.
They should have had Snowbird or Vindicator, Eradicator and Vindicator, and you know
Okay.
Sasquatch and Puck and North Star and you know those guys should have been Alpha Flight, not
What did you
Psylocke
I
with
but
the.
I love seeing Daredevil, who got more he got more screen time than I expected.
Yeah. Now I thought it was kind of interesting that they went to the like older Iron Man, like
Yes.
Spider Friends era Iron Man
That
costume.
is early 90s Iron Man.
Yeah.
Not Ultimate Iron Man. That is
No.
Invincible. It's Invincible Iron Man. Is that right?
I think
That's
so.
that costume is when I started reading Iron Man.
Yeah.
So for me, I immediately was like, oh, I love to see it. I love
Yes.
that. I love that costume. That's
And
one of my
then
favorite
the
armors.
Spider-Man cameo could have been a little better. I would have rather
It's fun
seen
that it's
that.
there.
I I would have, if he was, with him being Peter Parker standing next to Mary Jane, if it would have been something that his spider sense was going off.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, that's nitpicking, but
Yeah, I liked it though. I thought it was cool. Really
I
the
thought
one
it
for
was
me was
decent.
Daredevil was the one that
Yeah,
just
that was probably the best one,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah, it's cool as hell.
So,
I was hoping for a Ghost Rider.
yeah, I think he would have been a little out of place on that one.
I know, but I'm still
With
hoping to
that,
see him. There's been that clip going around where he shows up and like body slams Galactus in the cartoon. Do you remember this?
oh God, no.
It's it's really funny. Galactus is for some reason like only slightly larger than human size,
Okay.
and they don't know what to do, and he's like gonna devour. It's when Galactus is using all of his machinery to devour the Earth.
Oh yeah, yeah,
When they
yeah.
adapt him for that, and he is very small. It's not Galactus really at all.
Right,
Ghost Rider shows up, and I don't know if this is true, but in the little blurb that went with the clip I saw,
right.
it said Ghost Rider was not in the show before and then didn't come back after. But he just showed up and like
Just kind of
kicked the shit out of Galactus and left.
like, yeah.
uh, that's fun.
I mean,
Anyway,
the cameos were neat. In the
and there were a
last
few more.
episode.
I liked seeing Captain America, and I think
Yeah.
it was not out of place. It
No.
made sense for him to be there.
Yeah. Well, especially when the couple of episodes before with the whole Genosha thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Even
So,
that was like I
right.
didn't feel that was a cheap, fan service. Like it really makes sense in the Marvel universe for Captain America to be working with the government and be like, yo, yo,
I
yo, yo.
Yeah,
It
I
makes
can
sense.
see season 2 being Avengers versus X-Men once they get back.
There's a lot of talk about that I've seen online.
It sounds like it's kind of setting that up. The one thing that I didn't like were the fact that they were using all these cameos with Morph as the cameo,
I didn't hate that, but
and
some of
he
it
was
was the only reason it's there is for nerds to be like, oh, look, there's
right. Well,
Omega
that's like,
Red
yeah.
or
Well,
whoever.
and that no Mega Red
There
was
was
in
an
the
actual
last one.
cameo,
Yes,
yeah.
that was, you know, that was the Red Guard.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, and Crimson Dynamo.
yes, Crimson
I had
Dynamo.
again. That's another one. Crimson Dynamo was like the main villain when I was started reading Iron Man,
Right.
and I just loved seeing that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, just like you got the Psylocke one and the Shadowcat one and the Ilyana that's Morph in Inferno. It's like what the fuck on that one?
Let me ask you this:
Okay.
what did you think of Morph uh, providing that dialogue to Wolverine as he's laying there in agony?
It is what it is. I mean, personally, I
I
wasn't
thought
a
it was
fan.
good.
I mean, the dialogue was fine, but I wasn't a fan of that whole dynamic
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Right. I thought it
So
was cool. I thought it was cool to see that. Like, Morph using.
I actually liked the dialogue with Jean and Scott with Cable.
That was good.
Then
Yeah.
I liked that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
Well, and then the whole, Magneto pulling the adamantium out of Wolverine.
I couldn't believe they showed it at all.
Totally different storyline in the comics than what they made.
Mm-hmm.
You
They just
know,
ripped that idea. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
just straight out, and it. I mean,
I think it works.
I mean, it kind of made sense, but if you read the comic, it's a lot more intense.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
yeah. I don't know how much they were allowed to show. It wasn't. It wasn't very graphic.
there you go the pick your lane.
Yeah.
You know, are you gonna if you're gonna do it, you know, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just half-ass it. And I think that part of the story they kind of half-assed it.
That's fair. Well, I mean, I think in general, again, I was a fan. I enjoyed it. I would watch another season, and we know that's coming.
Yep.
So for me, that gets a thumbs up. I'm into
It's
it.
okay. It had some really good aspects of it, but it could have been a lot better. A lot better.
And hey, speaking of Disney Plus shows,
Yes.
Acolyte is next week or a week
Yes.
after. Soon.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. The week after Memorial Day.
I
So
will. I will say now, this is not my preferred era of Star Wars,
not
and
mine at all.
I don't have any big feelings about the show. I did see the trailer that revealed the quote villain. Did you see that trailer?
Did you see the trailer that they had the subtitles on?
I read an article about this, but I was so busy that I didn't.
I saw it before they cut the
Oh,
subtitles
well,
off.
is this a spoiler?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna spoil that.
Okay, because I didn't fully get.
But
I didn't fully understand it.
if you read the extended University and then the New Republic or the Old Republic
Uh-huh.
stuff, you'll get where they what they ripped off.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting. Okay. I'll read that on
they
my own.
didn't use the same thing. I can tell you afterwards
Okay.
when we're done.
I have an idea.
Yes.
I have a pretty good idea.
Yes, I
I
think you
like the
do.
design though. That skull helmet.
Yeah.
I think it looked cool.
Yeah.
But we'll cover it. We'll talk about it.
Okay, I will say one thing though. It's been in the trailer. I can. I hate being negative. I really hate. For the love of God, I hate being negative. But the damn laser whip, lightsaber whip.
I guess I didn't see that.
Okay,
Or if I did, I just don't remember.
it's pretty quick, but it reminds me of in Spaceballs.
It's a ring in Spaceballs.
Right, I know.
He says, "You
But
have the ring, and
but
I
it's
see your
but
Schwartz is as big as mine."
yeah, it's if it went limp.
That does happen.
I know.
That does happen.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it looks like. Now, see, in Star Wars lore, they've had like a laser whip, but it's mechanical, and the energy goes through, the chain kind of.
Right.
This is not that. This looks like, you know, a
Yeah.
rough day in cold water and whiskey dick.
I see. I see.
So,
Well,
but
anyway,
anyway,
that's all I have on that.
that's it too.
Do you have anything before we get to the final thing?
No, I don't. I'm kind of excited for this. I I have talked to you about this, and I'm just gonna say this is the way someone should be portrayed in the MCU.
Now, I'll tell the listeners
Yes.
that this, oh wait, I don't think I shared audio, and I'm an idiot. I'll tell the listeners, this is we're gonna react to a video that has some length. It's like 10 minutes long.
Yep.
So if you want to see what we're talking about, please check it out on YouTube. You just search for Nerds Geeks in the Kitchen Sink and you can find it.
Right.
If you're an audio only person, I'm going to leave this in.
Yes.
Because it's, part of the show. But this is Logan the Wolf, a Wolverine fan film. I have not seen this. So this will be a full-on reaction from me. So don't come at me in the comments. You know who you are.
Yeah.
So on the screen now. Can you see that, by the way?
Yes, I can.
Okay. The following short film is fan made and is neither endorsed or affiliated with Marvel Studios or the Walt Disney Company. The rights of these characters belong there's some spelling errors here that I see
I
here.
know.
The
The
right to
guy's
these
not-
characters belong to Marvel Studios and the Walt Disney Company.
The guy is not American.
Well, company is almost spelled like champagne,
I
with a
know.
GNY.
I think he is French, so
Now, this is not intended for commercial use, Chris. So if you were thinking about using this as for commercial, forget it.
no.
All right. Anything you want to say? Now, you've seen this.
I've seen this. Now the director is Godfrey Royquart. I'm butchering the name. I'm sorry, but this dude is a
Come on to the show.
director, fight choreographer, and yeah, and this is his fight production company that did this small scene.
Is that what this really is? Is like a, hey, hire us?
No. This is definitely, if you watch this is like a passion project.
So there's going to be passion in this.
Oh yeah.
Will there be romance?
Nope. But there'll be blood and guts,
like a gentle caress
and...
of claws and flesh.
Maybe
All right.
gently caressing out of their bodies on the ground.
Spoilers, Chris.
I know, right?
All right, let's do this. I will be pausing it as we go and commenting and all that. So here we go.
Here we go.
I am wrath. I am chaos and balance.
A little rough on that. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Right.
But maybe we get a Canadian to do Wolverine's voice.
Right. Well, this is supposed to be kind of in that era. So he's going to have that kind of, Nordic kind of tone.
Well, you said era.
Voice.
What era?
The Vikings era.
Oh, see, I didn't know this.
Yes.
So this is Wolverine as a Viking.
Yes.
Okay. Spoilers.
Death and resurrection. I am Fenrir's fury.
When he said death and resurrection, it sounded like Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow.
A little bit.
Death and resurrection. Okay. The something Fenrir's
I am Fenrir's
back pain.
fury.
Yeah, that's it. He's pounding his fists on the ground. He seems to be going into a berserker rage.
Kinda.
He's doing a sort of dance.
Ritual.
Yeah, ritual dance.
Which, by the way, in Nordic times, that they did. The berserkers did.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
He just didn't take all the drugs in it.
He did a rune out of wood.
Yeah, the Fenrir rune.
Now, why would he be called Logan if this is an ancient, like Norwegian dude?
This is a what if, okay? This is a
all right. I just don't want to poke holes in this, but boy, I don't know. Let's keep going. Also, he's not a wolf; he's a Wolverine. Come on. I don't know.
Nordic times.
It's beautiful here. This is great. Some nice forestry.
I'll say I don't think there's many, Wolverines over there in Scandinavia.
Yeah. He's got an axe. Oh, this other man has an axe. Wolverine's just sitting on a...
I've been waiting for you.
Tree.
You should have run instead.
I don't run away from miserable creatures.
They've clearly got a little bit of money for outfits and makeup and stuff, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, this guy is a legit fight choreographer, so they made money.
That's what I'm looking forward to seeing the most here, is maybe some cool violence.
It is coming up very.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
It seems like that's where we are.
Yeah.
Stories are told about a ferocious war that butchers women and children. And even slaughtered 20 of Gunnar's men. Alone. Lies! Nothing more than fairy tale to scale.
Is this guy supposed to be Sabretooth?
No.
Cowards.
Yeah.
A kid. Lord Otto put a bounty on your head. And I don't give a shit what they say about you or what you've done. We are here for the money.
Nice little shot of him standing on that ledge with the moon behind
I
him.
like seeing the moon there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a nice touch. I agree.
That was.
He jumps
Now,
down.
you'll like this shot.
Are you sure it's worth it?
How come he has scars?
Battle. They're
Wouldn't
Vikings.
his healing factor?
That's not.
Oh, that's not Wolverine.
Oh no, the short guy. Yeah, the other one.
Yeah, Wolverine guy's got some scars.
Right.
Just a question.
Such a leader, man. It sure is.
I like that. The comment about Wolverine being small.
Like I said, watch the next shot coming up.
I don't want to watch. You know, I think I'm done.
Good playing, damn it.
I'll
Yeah.
leave one of you alive so you can warn your sons about those fairy tales.
They got that right.
Yeah.
For sure. A headbutt and a kick. He's got some weapons here. He stabbed a guy. No, he's been stabbed.
Yeah. And then he
Hang
calls
on.
the guy- Yeah.
Did that guy stabbed him through the back with a spear?
Yes, with a spear.
So then he leans into the other guy to stab the other guy with
Yeah.
the spear that's through him.
Yes.
Okay. That's clever. I like that. That's a good one. That's what I want to see. A good head stab. He's been stabbed once again. He falls down like he's dead.
So much for that. Take the body.
Anytime there's a scene like this, I
You
have
know
to
what's
think
coming.
it's a trick. Get an axe.
Yeah.
All right. The hand claws come out through the face.
Right. Through the face. To the bottom, from the bottom of the chin through the face. And he picks him up.
Yeah. Classic Wolverine shot.
Yep.
The old behind the claws. He's healing here.
Yep.
That's one thing. He's doing a little growling. Does Hugh Jackman do any growling?
No, I don't remember him ever doing.
I wouldn't mind
unless he
Wolverine
did it. Yeah.
doing a little growling
Yeah.
as he's, whatever, being Wolverine.
Right.
Now, those claws look like adamantium, not bone claws.
Right.
To me, that's a mistake.
That is, but I mean, this is a what if, Maybe he was embedded by the gods with.
Oh, Odin did this to him.
Right.
Okay. Hey, I'd read that.
Right.
I'd read that story.
Yeah. I'm just kind of second guessing on that one, but
What kind of demon are you?
I am Logan, the Wolf.
I didn't really like that very much.
no. I mean, it was kind of overplayed.
A little lame.
Yeah. That was a great shot.
I like that. Slice a guy's face half off.
Right.
Oh, some entrails there.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Killed the lady that stabbed him earlier.
Yep.
They're playing with Logan's mind. Oh, okay. That was an opportunity where he could have been doing some smelling.
I think he did, because if you looked, he like kind of curled up his nose.
Well, then he didn't do a very good job.
No, it was pretty short thing, but he kind of wrinkled up his nose before he turned his head.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that's when he smelled him behind him.
Okay. More fighting happening, obviously.
Okay, so they obviously weren't metal. They were just sharpened down.
Oh, I didn't notice. How do you know? How do you know that?
Because if you go back just a minute, watch when he goes with the axe when he's pinned down.
Oh wait.
Yeah, that's fine. Just kind of replay. Fighting, doing the thing.
All right.
Hi.
They're metal.
But did the axe go through the?
No, the claws are through the axe here.
Okay, well maybe then I'm.
Yeah, clearly the claws are cutting into the edge of the axe, which is
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. Okay, then the whole, embedded by Odin.
Maybe so.
No, did you see they just fell off?
I don't think they did though.
Yeah.
I see why you say that, but I don't think so.
Okay, watch.
Can
When he
I
moves
go
his hand.
frame at a time? How do you do that?
I don't.
You'd think I would know how. Oh, playback speed. 0.25. Here we go.
Okay.
Prepare for horrible noise. I'm muting it.
See? See the
Interesting.
claws?
Yeah, you're right. His
the
hand is up
blood?
and the claws are down, but they look metal. So I don't know what I think they're just making their own decisions about this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still think they're trying to tell me that they're metal. Adamantium. Oh, okay. More stabby stab. Feels about on par
As
with
you
Logan.
notice, I was going to say, notice he's only using the one hand, so.
Interesting.
Claws wise, anyway. Nice.
Well, hang on. Now he's got both. Yeah, he's got them both now.
Well, if you remember in the comic, he grows them back fast.
Right.
Especially if he doesn't have the metal in him. But in that shot, those claws didn't come off.
You're right, but they also look metal.
Right.
So I don't know.
I get it. I mean, maybe they're trying to make them look a little more like wolf claws. The thinner and more shapely instead of kind of how they've been in the comic, where they're kind of.
Well, I would have had him curve a little bit or something. I don't know. Maybe make him a little shorter. I don't know. I'll send him some notes later. He's healing again.
You freak! Leave now and tell your kind about me. Tell your kind a new god will soon rule. Tell your kind a new era is upon them. Go now!
He's trying to go. Whoops. Who is it?
So a man walks up.
Impressive.
So this is Sabretooth, right?
I'm
It
not
has
gonna
to
say.
be.
There's a reveal on who it is.
It has to be Sabretooth. Look at his furs.
If you're here for the bounty, just look at them and see your end.
Very, very promising. I've been watching you. You have something unique. That brings my attention.
What do you want?
I want you to join me.
Oh, he's Professor
Together we
Xavier.
would be unstoppable.
Maybe.
No man walking these lands can slay me. What would I be doing with you?
You know, we're not so different, you and I. We share the same aversion
Or is this Magneto?
puppets of those animals. If we gather,
I don't need you. Just go home while you still can.
Ah, okay. It's Magneto. Spoilers.
Yeah. I loved the design of this like Viking style Magneto helmet.
I think the helmet works. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have any complaints about that. No. Yeah. He's got the pose right.
Yep.
see, I am just like you, a god among the commons. But instead, humans call us monsters. They fear us. They want us extinct. And trust me, they'll keep hunting us down and slaughter the ones we love until all our heads onto their spikes. But we're about to change that.
Death isn't my concern, mortal. Last warning.
Oh, he's mad at Magneto.
That's a shame. I thought you'd understand.
You're going to die like the rest of them.
Show me.
What? Oh, I gotta wait for the next one.
There is a little bit of a, maybe fast forward a little bit because there is a little bit of a,
Well, we can let the credits go.
okay.
That's the least we can do for these people that
Right.
spent all this time on this.
I mean, honestly, it was really shot well. I mean, this was shot just as good as like the Viking show itself.
Makeup was good. Costumes were good.
Right?
The location, how do you get that wrong? You know, it's
Right.
nice woods here.
Yeah. I mean, the visual effects were pretty decent. Nothing looked
Sure.
too over the top, you know. So, I mean,
Oh, here we go.
there you go.
Nick Fury is going to get
Ooh.
him.
Helmet on the ground. And Wolverine staggering away.
But then the helmet starts to move, dude. I'll let those credits go so
Yeah.
people can get their due there while we talk about it. Great for a fan film.
Yeah.
These things are getting better and better.
Yeah, absolutely.
It didn't blow me away by any means, but well, it was
Well,
fun.
I mean, for what it was, and I mean, that's the kind of fighting I want to see in a real MCU.
Well, I mean, Logan had that for sure.
But
I would put it on par with Logan.
I was gonna say it. I mean, it was close, but we didn't get nearly as much as I would like to of Logan himself really going at it. We had a couple of snippets, but
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't know. I thought it was pretty much on par with Logan, but hey,
yeah.
nice
No,
work for
I'm
those
not-
guys. It was
yeah,
worth
I'm
the
not
10
saying
minutes. I
that
mean,
it-
come on, give them your view.
Oh yeah,
For
I'm
sure.
not saying it's not. So, but
Sure.
oh man, I'd love to reach out to them to see their process and if they're going to keep making. I know they've got a ton. It's well over 1 million views on this.
I didn't look at the number, but I've
Yeah.
already closed it. But I'm sure it was recommended to me as well. I just hadn't clicked
Right.
it yet. So no, that was cool. I'm glad we checked it out.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's the kind of intense fighting and you know, entrails and slashing that I want to see. You know, Logan, like you said,
Logan deserves to
did
have
a lot
that.
of that too. Yeah.
But yeah,
And
the movie.
any new MCU movie is what I'm saying. It deserves to have. I want
Yeah.
to see him versus the Hand.
Oh, you don't mean the Michael Caine movie, The Hand?
No,
Okay.
no,
You mean the ninjas?
the Ninja Clan, the Hand.
Okay. Sorry, I was thinking about Michael Caine's hand running around.
Yeah. No, I'd actually love to see kind of the Wolverine and Kitty, Lone Wolf and Cub kind of aspect when they went over into Japan.
Sure.
I would love to see that as a standalone movie.
Well, I
to
mean, we
introduce-
got a bit of that. I mean, sort of in Logan, not them, but you know, him defending the younger
Right.
Wolverine. But yeah,
No, but I
yeah.
meant to see Shadowcat is up there with Nightcrawler and Wolverine is, you know, that whole Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Shadowcat, and Colossus are my 4 favorite, you know, of all time.
Bummer that Colossus wasn't in the new season of
know.
the show.
Yeah. And that's another character that has not been done right. And I'll even include Deadpool.
Unfortunately, like he's best at Deadpool, I would say, but he's
Yeah.
not quite what you would want, and I don't think he's quite accurate. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on what version you're reading, I guess. But yeah, I
No,
would agree
I mean,
that
almost all of them, you know, Peter is this tortured artist.
imagine a standalone Colossus
can go-
movie. It could really work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sincerely, I think that could work great. You pick the right story.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Even his origin story, you know, then he saves Ilyana when his first time he mutates by basically stopping a tractor dead in its tracks.
Oh yeah.
Throwing it like a mile.
Yep. Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was really good, and for a fan-made film, all you know, all aspects and the dialogue that could have been a little bit better.
I get it. I get that
But-
it didn't need to be Canadian because we're not
Yeah.
in Canada, and this
Right.
is not a Canadian Wolverine.
No, but I meant the dialogue as a whole. It wasn't bad, but
It didn't seem to be
wasn't
written by
great.
a person whose first language was English.
No.
So for what it was, fantastic.
Right. Yeah, but like shot wise, action wise, and fights definitely. That's all you want to see out of it.
Totally. Yeah, it was worth the 10 minutes for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
go
I
give
think-
them a look, see you guys.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it already.
We'll drop it with the episode. We'll put a link
Yeah.
in the description, obviously. So
Yep.
I think that about wraps it up, unless you have anything
Pretty much.
else.
No, not really. I'm pretty much tapped out. I'm
You
ready
need
for
a you need a
food and
rest. We're
bed.
gonna do a short episode today because you need some rest. I need some rest.
Food and bed soon. Yeah.
We'll be back soon enough, and we'll be
Yep.
talking about the Acolyte, I'm sure. And yeah, we'll be back with the same old stuff.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Join the Discord, Please.
Absolutely.
and we'll talk to you next time.
All right.
Bub.
Bub. See ya.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Mm.